Alright, so I'm gonna do a little quick tier list. Um, it's it might not be as detailed, but here we goes. Hoodwink's Q. For Hoodwink, this is like an uh S tier for a Hoodwink, but compared to other build, it's pretty strong if you get it off. You can win with this, but um, not definitely not the best. So I'll put a B. Um, what is this one? Is it the ulti? The Q build. Straight up, just I would say B. You can win with this, but it's not as great. There are some really OP talents. Maybe I could just start with that. So that could, which is that's S tier, 100%. Um, I'll say that's an S tier. No, A tier. You can still lose with that. That's an A tier. It's great, but not that great. Well, from my experience, it's more like a B tier. But let's just say A tier is like where you can get at least top three. If you pick these, you get at least top three. That's an that's an A tier. No, I don't think it's that great. If you combo with this one, it's really good. This is an S tier. So when I pick these tier list, I'm including all the rare, epic, and rare talents combined. Let's just assume all of this as a single bundle, and I'm putting a tier list on that. Voice Spirit R. I don't even know how to. Why this is a thing. It should be changed. It's too hard to utilize. Puck. Everybody knows this is the worst one. It's too hard to utilize. First of all, this is your escape, but you're using offensively, so it doesn't make much sense. Same with the Blink Dagger build. It's good, but the mechanism is kind of weird. You have to start auto attacking, and then you blink in, and that kind of makes you vulnerable against certain heroes. So I'm gonna put this on C actually. Put this down like that. So S tier, it's really hard to lose when you pick these, unless you make a mistake. If you make a mistake, like getting TP cancelled, that's how you lose. Otherwise, I don't think you can lose with these. The other one is this is an A tier, very strong, makes you very tanky. A B tier, also just the same, makes you very tanky, hard to kill, but difficult to snowball with this because it just makes you tanky. Late game is very strong. R, very huge potential for snowballing, but it also makes you. Mm, it's hard to take off with this side with this build, so it's very situational. It's a hit or miss. Puck R, very strong. Can kill anyone with this once you get Aghanims. Goes for BKB, deals a lot of damage. Hoodwinks. This one is like, I don't know if it does anything. I rarely see people come top 3 or even top 5 with this. There's also B. It's great. Actually, now it's an A. It was an A before Witch Fury. Now it's a B because there's a Witch Fury now. Huskar's E. I'll say that's an A tier. It's really strong. It's really good for Huskar. Pretty much all of Huskar's skills are, I would say, A tier. Huskar itself is a very strong hero. Because you have a built-in disarm that counters agility heroes. You're tanky, naturally tanky, and you have a taunt with Aghanims, and you have a lot of lifesteal. Well, you should get a lot of lifesteal. Do a lot of damage with the burning spear, and there's a talent that gives you crit on your attack. So it's kind of broken, I'll say. Everybody should pick these up when they can if you're playing Oscar. And some of these talents are very useful in terms of utility. Like you get a silence with this one. This one helps you farm creeps and helps you defend wave. This one gives you like BKB effect. And this one makes you unable to die for 1 or 2 seconds based on the level. So these are very strong. And it really fits the 1x6 because you do a lot of 1v1 towards the end. So let's go. Yep. So I could do another hero tier list, but I think this is much more accurate. Blade, what is this called? I don't know what skill this is called, but this one crits. I think, does it still silence you? Yeah, you do get silenced. Status resist increases 50, which is great. The damage is great, but still kind of situational. Because the fact that you get silenced, you can't use your Q, you can't use your ulti, so there's a bit of a downside. Respects E, I put it on C because it makes you really tanky, but one item just counters you, which is the Silver Edge. You just get countered, and that's it. Especially in late game, where you could probably die in 3-4 seconds, and Silver Edge is all you need to kill him. So I'll put it on C. Also, this build doesn't do much damage because you're like a counter anti DPS. What's this one? Terrorblade's W, the illusion. I'll put it on C. It's very situational. It's not too great. Illusions can die really quickly, even with these talents. Podges R. I'll say also C tier. No, I'll put it on B tier. I think it's quite strong, especially after the recent buff. You do a lot of damage with this. Lina's Q. I'll put it on A tier. It's really strong. You spam it especially if you get this talent. If you go Q build, you'll never die to the wave. And theoretically, you can kill any tanky hero because it's percentage based, and you can stack them. Legion's ulti, I'll probably put it here. Like, the bonuses are not too great. If it was, say, 200 health and 20 attack speed, 5% cooldown is fine. But this is not that great. These talents are also kind of a meh, you know, like this one. Yeah, it's good, but it's very situational. Compared to like this one, it gives you stun. So Lina's E. It's pretty decent. Very situational though. It makes Lina into a auto attacker and helps him fight like certain like melee characters. But it doesn't really do much because these characters will have some sort of distance closing items. And it's not that great compared to other abilities. Yep. Embers are very strong, very OP. You can kill anyone when you get this. Except maybe Juggernaut with Q. Embers E. Strong but situational. You kind of need a good start. Podges E. I'll probably put it on here. No, you know what? Let me put these down. I'll probably do this. Yeah, that's better. Healing what? Terrible, just terrible. Linus R, OP. Up. I'll probably put it here because it does pure damage. It does a lot of damage, and you do more damage afterwards because of the proc. It just does too much damage, I think. And the talents are really good. This one is like, I don't know what the point of this. You close the gap. It's like a blink dagger. But blink dagger with a delay. The stun's good, everything's good, but it puts you on a melee range to enemy hero. So it's, I will probably use it as an escape. But this game is not about survival. It's about killing people, so yeah, that's why I put it on C. Pudge's Q, very situational, hard to utilize. It's not that great. It's got a huge downside, which is you miss a hook and you lose a stack. So there's that. Terrorblade's E. Hard to use this because it burns so much mana. So technically, you can't use this to farm, but you will have this every fight. So that's about it. That's really it. And you burn all your mana. So let's just say you're fighting against Terrorblade with E, and you're fighting against an agility carry with a diffuser blade. Your metamorphosis is gonna just end, like really quickly. So there's not much point. You're not gonna keep this up in the fight because it's a 3% maximum mana. If it's 2%, it'll be much better. Legion's E. This was really great before. Now it's really bad, I'll say. First of all, it's only available after 3 Moment of Courage attacks, and the cooldown's 5 seconds. And it doesn't do much, it just does 100% cleave damage and 250 crit. It stuns for 1.5. It's just not that great. It's nothing too unique. Just extra damage and a bit of stun. Yeah. So I'll probably put it on C. Wraith King. Wraith King's E is like the only build that's kind of viable. But it's still bad. You don't crit that much, even with the 5 stacks, and it's hard to get it off. Just fall off too quickly late game, unless you get a rapier. So it's a huge potential, but not that great, in my opinion. SF's Necromastery. It's really good, but you lose 8 souls at the end, and the crit damage isn't much. Attack speed is great. Cooldown's too long. So very situation. I'll put it on C. Legion's Q. This one is like a no-brainer. It's very strong. A tier. Phantom Lancer's W. I'll probably put it here. The extra damage, 120% agility damage isn't that great. It's kind of minuscule. It doesn't burst until late game. But the new ability is pretty good. But PA itself is just an average character. Unless you snowball. Puck's E. Also on here. Because I think these are still better. I could probably change this. Yeah. I think these are a little... Oh, this is better. Yep. This is the one where you fear enemies, right? Yep. It's kind of a nice spell, but cooldown's way too long. And 10 seconds reduced stat from Dark Lord it's not that great. Doesn't tell you how much it is. I think it's 50% extra reduction, but the cooldown's way too long to use it. So I'll put it on C. Legion's W. It's just average ass. Put it on C. Crucifix W. Also very average. It's not too good. Because I think the meta is about bursting people. You can't really do that. Crucifix just dies too quickly late game. When you get Silver Edge. This one over is C, B. I think it's very strong. If you get the right items. Terribly's Q. You steal ability. You steal the clone. Their stats. And with this talent, they also cast spells. But it's very situational. Sometimes if you're playing against Huskar, it can be very OP. But this is Terrorblade shouldn't be an ability dependent. Because it should be already strong with the right items, but I think this is just average ass from my experience. You can still win with this. So I'll put it on C. Wraith King's R. It's just a really bad design. Just a bad design. Punches W. Damage is based on your health. Late game it's great. Early game it sucks. And you lose 15% of health per second. Really hard to use this. Even with a heart, you will die very quickly. So I'll put it on D. Scurry? Very strong. Very, very strong. Put it on B. Because it's not an A tier, because you still need to utilize it by walking, moving 1,000 distance. But when you get it, it's really strong. Ember's Q, it's kind of weak. It's not too great. The 30% proc chance isn't that great, it seems like. And Ember has a really bad agility growth, so you're gonna need a lot of fun for this build. Shadowfiend's Shadow Raises. It's too hard to use it. If you do land, it's great, but damage is too mediocre compared to that. Unless it should be strong enough to one-shot heroes, but you don't. So I'll put it on D. And when they close the gap to you, you can only use one spell. Pain's Dagger is very strong. The stacks, if you get the stacks, you'll pretty much likely die unless you have some sort of spell immunity. So I will put it on here. Hoodwink's ulti, trash. Ember's W, I'll say it's pretty good. Can be very OP. You would have like a 2-second downtime between usage. Pain's ulti, bad design. I don't think it's that good. Dagger build on PA is quite average, but I think it is still stronger than these abilities. But you can still win with all of these. I'm just saying. As you go down, it gets harder and harder to win with these though. Thunder? I think Thunder is an S tier. A tier. It's very strong now. After the change. It's really, really strong. Makes you really tanky, it makes you do a lot of damage. And I think the damage is pure damage. Yeah. 20% of max health as pure damage. That's insane. And the cooldown is very short. 15 seconds, you can spam this. And because it doesn't swap health, there's no real downside. You just regenerate the missing health. And they receive pure damage. So there's really no downside to this. Cooldown short. It's OP. I'll do more testing on this though. But I have a feeling this could be an S tier. Wraith King's W. This one is very situational. It can be very strong late game. It can be very OP late game. But it's only there. It's only OP at the late game. Early game you farm quickly with this. But you can also... You also do no damage if you don't have this. So I'll put it on C. Tux W. It's quite strong. I'll say an A tier. Does a lot of damage. But it is a little difficult to use this. These talents are very good though. I'll put it on B tier. Definitely not as good as some of the build. Ratings Q. It's pretty decent if you know how to use it. It's better than E, but still kind of bad. Because a clone only takes 60% damage. And it seems like it's a lot, but it's not, because you're not gonna hit... When you stun hero, you're not gonna hit the clone. You're gonna hit the real hero. Like, what's the point of stunning them, right? You're gonna hit the clone. So I think the extra damage comes from like cleave or like Mjolnir, lightning proc, something like that. So that can be some damage stacking in, but design is kind of weird and it's not that great. But it's still stronger than E build, I'm pretty sure. So let me just see if I need to keep changing of these. So S tier, if you pick these, really hard to lose. Because this is too great. It's too OP. A tier, you can get at least top 2. You'll probably get a duel. And you'll most likely win. If you played it properly. And it's also... I'm also factoring in the fact that you would have a great early game and mid game and late game. You can farm really quickly with this too. So B tier, it's great in theory, but somewhat situational. You can't always win with these. Either you would have a somewhat terrible... if you have a terrible early game, it could really slow you. It could slow you down, slow your farm, resulting in a mediocre mid game. You could still have a decent late game, but mid game is not great if you have a bad early game. C tier. A C tier is just group of spells that's just very mediocre. Nothing too special. Too average. And the synergy isn't that great, in my opinion. So I would expect a minor tweak or a buff would be great. D tier, in my opinion, D tier and E tier are just bad design, but at least D tier is better than E tier. Yep. E tier, I don't know what they do. Like, they're kind of trash. They don't do anything. They can't kill people. Very rarely you can kill people with these. Like, for example, Void Spirits are, no one's gonna stay there. You're gonna need some sort of a... no one's gonna stay around here. And Damage is kind of mediocre too. You don't burst much. Cooldown's too long with these two. The ability itself has a long cooldown, not the new one. Cool. This one is great though. This talent is very good. Our build on Wraith King, just really bad. Doesn't do anything. You gotta continue to live in a ghost form for 5 seconds, but you'll just die in 5 seconds. Most likely. Hoodwinks are. The damage is not great, but you can scale to late game. So you have to get kills, or you're gonna be relevant in the mid game and late game. Queen of Pain R build, the same reason. You have to get kills with these. And it's not even that good. Because you have one item that counters it, which is Spellbreaker. Or Orchid. F build, F tier. Hoodwinks W. It's kind of trash. I don't know what it does. AoE is too small. You just spam it. But you don't do any damage with this, so. Hoodwink won't do any damage if you go this build. In my opinion. Early game's kind of like average. Mid game's terrible. Late game's terrible. Same with the Puck's Q. I keep saying this, but too much work for damage, and the damage isn't that great. And because it's an escape ability and using it offensively, just like the Queen of Pain's W. So it's not good. It's bad. Healing Wood, also horrible. It got buffed recently. Now you can't. It's invulnerable to illusions and creeps, but 3 hits. That's less than a second in the mid game and late game. Even if you get this talent where you receive stun if you kill it, it's kind of horrible. It's only 1.5 seconds. If they increase the stun to like 3 seconds, it could be good. The cooldown of the healing word is great, but not that great. You can't spam this. You need to make this spammable. Or maybe take 5 hits to destroy, something like that. Need some significant buff. So there's a reason why. So other than Thunder has a potential to be S tier, I'll say this is my tier list. I think I will put Thunder S tier. I played one game of Thunder build, and it's just outright OP. You just can't die, and I guess the only problem is killing creep wave. So I'll put it on A. Alright, so there's my tier list. If I were to put a hero tier list, let me just put the heroes up here. So there's Ember in the game. Legion's in the game. SF. PA. Queen of Pain. Wraith King. Is that it? Void Spirit. Oh, this list doesn't have Void Spirit. Let's try again. X. Ember. Huskar, there we go. Juggernaut. Lena. Legion. PA. Pudge. Puck. What? Where's Pudge? Pudge. Queen of Pain. SF. Wraith King. Wait, it doesn't have Voice Spirit. Oh my god, this is a... Sorry guys, doesn't have Voice Spirit. Oh, there is a Voice Spirit. Also, it's Hoodwink, yeah, good. Is that it? Juggernaut, yep. I feel like there's one more. I could just look at this. Oh my. Strength Heroes. Where's Wraith King? Huh? Where's Wraith King? Where? Am I blind? Oh, there. Legion Commander. There we go. Legion, Pudge, Bristleback, Alchemist, X, Oscar, Whisper, Lena. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm missing SF. And Ember. There we go. Yep. So let's put a tier list. Husker obviously S tier. I'll say Voice Spirit S tier. Alchemist S tier. Bristleback A tier because of his other abilities are crap. Other than ulti. X, I think I'll put you on B tier. It's not great late game. That's why. Put you on C tier. PA on C tier. No, B tier. It has a potential to snowball. Queen of Pain, Puck on, yep, Lena. Legion on the B tier. Pod C tier. Ember C tier. Juggernaut, I'll say A tier. Troll S tier. Yeah, it's kind of biased, I think. Too many S tiers, but it is what it is. These are just too great. Maybe Puck on A tier. Gerblade, C tier. Hoodwink, put on B tier. SF on B tier. I think it's pretty balanced. I think I'll put this guy here. Put this guy here. Yeah, I think this is good now. No. This is good. Yep, this is good. So this is my tier list for heroes. Husker, all the abilities are very strong. Early, mid, late game, very strong. Voice Spirit, his Q and R. Q is like average, R is bad, but second spell is straight up broken. E is also pretty decent too, but second spell is too broken, so I would say S tier. Alchemist, very strong hero. Early mid late game, very strong. Lena, also same reason, quite broken. Q and R is just broken. Troll, very strong hero, early mid late game. You just need diffuser blade and you can kill anyone. His abilities, normal abilities are also very good. Bristleback, Juggernaut, Puck. These are very good heroes in all situations, mostly. I'll put Bristleback on B because its ulti is the only viable build, in my opinion. But it's very strong. Actually, I should put these 3 here. No, I think this is better. Yeah, so when I'm playing a game, I'm more worried about these guys than these guys. But if these guys get snowball early game, they could easily be S tier. I'm not worried too much about these guys, except SF maybe, but even SF ulti build falls off too quickly. Mid game is trash. These guys, I rarely worry about these guys. Only sometimes. These guys, usually the last places I see them, or top 4. Rating, just trash. I don't know what this guy is doing in this game. All the abilities are just average, not too great. Yep, so there's my tier list. Okay. Well, I'm gonna end the video here. Thanks everyone for watching.